guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to Board Game the Game Show presents It's Quiz Time. It's quiz time. The largely picture-based live quiz show where you have a chance to win fabulous prizes. Tonight's prize, let me show it to you. This is what you're getting. Let me try to stop the glare here. You would be leaving with Cube, the Taken action figure. It's wonderful, it's chunky, it's red, it's Cube, and it's from the fine folks at Top Shelf Games. Just so I can show you their logo, and also our friend Flip Flory from Flip Flory Super Saturday Board Game Cereal. So tonight, someone will be winning Cube. I will note a couple things at the beginning here. Remember, the game is played on your phones, so if you're out there, get your phone, get your device, get another screen maybe, but really you'd rather your phone or a device. Let's set you up with tonight's quiz information. You're going to want to go to crowd.live, enter the code BGIYS. Whew, it was tougher than I expected. BGIYS will get you in the game tonight. We're going to start up in about 5 or so minutes. We'll get this thing started. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to say hey if you're out there, if you want to say hello. If not, I understand, no obligation, but I just thought I'd say hey, feel free to let yourself be known. Remember, if you like what I'm doing, if you want to support the show, it is down at the bottom. It keeps running by. Remember to like, subscribe, share, tell people about Board Game the Game Show. Also, you can tip me at coffee.com, ko-fi.com/Bruce Vogue if you really like what I'm doing, because it buys coffees and the screens and the services and all the things. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. Once again, every Friday at 8 o'clock, assuming that I don't have an event I have to do. It's that simple. But for all the coming weeks coming up, it does look like we will be here Friday, 8 p.m. for your visual-based sort of pub quiz spectacular. So there we go. We're going to start up in just a couple of minutes. Looks like we have our first person. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being a part of this. We'll start up in just a couple of minutes. Once again, if you want in on any browser-based whatever you have, go to crowd.live, put in the code BGIYS. BGIYS is what you're looking for to play. Once again, let me bring it back up. I'll make myself a little bit bigger so you can see it. Tonight's grand prize is Cube. It's the Taken action figure. This is going to be the horror one that you're going to get, the horror. The neat thing about them, let me just show you real quick because I have the pirate one, is there they are. They come with an array of like toys and accessories. Let me show you on mine. I hope that tink on the table here wasn't too loud. So the Cube comes with a lot of stuff. This one comes with, among other things, it has like a sword and stuff and a pistol, but it also has a parrot. It also comes with a set of rules that explains backstory. It's allergic to parrots, but it keeps it around for the look. You're going to win the horror one of these. That is the red one. Let me go grab that one and bring it back here. So yeah, this one has all kinds of stuff in there. I'm trying to see if I can clearly tell with the bright lights what any of it is. It's got like stacks of books to protect itself. It seems to be wearing an amulet. It has a gun if it gets in trouble. It seems to have some sort of toxic ooze, it looks like. All kinds of cool stuff, and this will be yours if you win tonight's 15-question, largely visual-based quiz game. We're going to start that up in just a couple of minutes. Once again, if you want in, go to crowd.live, enter the code BGIYS. BGIYS is how you enter. We'll be starting our contest up in just a couple of minutes. Once again, someone tonight will be leaving with Cube from the fine folks at Top Shelf Fun. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Once again, them and also Flip Flory, who was on last night on The Interview. We do The Interview every Thursday night at 9 p.m. We have a different gaming person or celebrity that we can find. Who knows what that means? We'll find out each and every week. This coming week, it should be the fine folks from Our Family Plays Games. So we're happy about that. That's super awesome. So yeah, if you're out there, if you want to play, remember to get in the game. Go to crowd.live, enter the code BGIYS. 15-question game, visual questions. You're going to have a picture or a video or a GIF. And there's going to be accompanying question. You have to put all of the pieces together to find out the answer. Answers are multiple choice. All questions have 4 answers. The faster you answer, the more points it's worth. Any mistakes that are in the game are just going to stay there. I usually make one per night. I also usually check at the beginning to try not to make a mistake. But if I do, that's just how it's going to have to go. Once again, top prize tonight, top 1 player tonight will be winning Cube. We will send that right to you as soon as we can. Once again, if you want to jump in, let me make the screen big again. I'll just have it take up everything. That doesn't work because it is directly covered by my little banner. So let's do that. Go to Crown.live, enter the code BGIYS. BGIYS is how you get in. We'll be starting our game in about 3 minutes. If you want in, now's the time. If you want to say, hey, I hope it's been an all right week for you. It's been something. Let me know how you're doing out there. I'm curious. I'm always curious. Once again, if you like the show, remember to like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about Board Game, the game show. We are mostly based on YouTube. Everything that we do. If you miss something, some part of the game, you can go back and check out the entire thing on YouTube after the fact. Usually takes about 12 hours to get up, and then you can check it out from there. Last night, we had Flip Flory on from Flip Flory's Super Saturday Board Game Reel. He came on, talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and played the interview, which we do each and every week. It is your chance out there to win a prize while also watching an interview with a Watch My Fingers celebrity. We're going to begin the game in just a moment. If you want in, once again, go to crowd.live on any browser-based device you have. Enter the code BGIYS. BGIYS is how you get in if you want to play tonight. Once again, we're going to start our competition up in just a moment. According to my clock, in 2 minutes, we're going to start with question number 1. It's a 15-question game. The better you do, the faster you answer, the more points you get. I'll warn everybody, I do at the beginning of every game. Wherever you're watching me, whether it's Facebook, or the other place on Facebook or YouTube, there's always a gap between when I start talking and when you actually hear me. The phone is going to be the ultimate scorekeeper. It is the referee. Stare at your phones once we start the game because it's probably going to get the questions a little bit before I read them to you. In the case of Facebook, it might be 30 seconds before I read them to you. So remember, always pay attention to the phone once we start the game because that's where the questions are going to come from. Things don't line up perfectly, unfortunately, but we do the best we can. Once again, we'll be starting up in just a couple of minutes. If you want to play the game, go to crowd.live, enter the code BGIYS. If you want to get in, the most points at the end of 15 questions is the winner. We will be starting up in just a moment. Looks like right now we have 6 players in the game, so that mathematically your odds are pretty good of leaving with tonight's top prize, Cube. Check it out. It's red. It's wonderful. It's Cube. It's the Taken Action figure, and it could be yours if you can win tonight's game. Once again, crowd.live, BGIYS will get you in. Game will begin in just a moment. I will tell you, if you're out there and you're playing, turn the volume on your phone up because there is one movie question tonight, or there is one question that has a YouTube clip, is the best way to phrase it. And that has sound, and the sound will help you. We learned last week with our deep fake of Richard Nixon that some folks couldn't hear it, and they couldn't hear it because they didn't have their sound turned up on their phone. I don't know that it is the most essential for the question, but it certainly would help you. It certainly would help me on the particular question tonight if I were on your side of the game. We're about to begin in just a moment. Remember, once again, and I'll make this warning one more time, stare at your phones. That is where the questions are going to come. You're probably going to see them on your phones before I start talking about them. I'm killing a lot of time right now so that before I set up the first question coming in, you know you should be paying attention to your phones. Questions are multiple choice. The second you lock in on an answer, that answer is in. The faster you answer, the more points it's worth. So remember, try to get in as fast as you possibly can. There's no points for a wrong answer. And if there happen to be any mistakes in the game tonight, that is a real shame. The scores do not change. But I do everything I can for quality control, I promise you. We're about to begin the game. Here we go. Let's start it off. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is quiz time, y'all. How old's this guy today? Is he 65, 70, 75, or 80? How old is that guy today? 65, 70, 75, or 80? Which of those is it? How old is that person turning today? It is his birthday, and of course, is one Steve Martin. One guess of 65, one guess of 70, half the room going for 75, one guess of 80. So it was a little bit everywhere. The correct answer is 75 years old. Steve Martin turned 75. The man who was, I would say, maybe not a big part, but certainly a standout in the Muppet movie, turned 75 today. Let's take a look at the board. Eddie Caffeine leading the pack with 55 points. Slemp at 53. Eddie Caffeine's son in at 40. Pete Dish, Drewsdees, and Kristen are the 3 that did not get that one right. But don't worry, so much game ahead of you. We have so much more going on before this is over. 14 more questions to go. Let's jump into question number 2. Here we go. What's this guy up to? Oh, just jumping off a tall building. I don't know, punching a horse. Probably shooting himself in the knee, or I think duct taping himself to a billboard. That guy in that picture, what's he up to? Just jumping off a tall building, or I don't know, punching a horse, or probably shooting himself in the knee, or I think duct taping himself to a billboard. What did you guess? So jumping off a building got nothing. Punching a horse got 20% of the vote. Shooting himself in the knee got 20% of the vote. 3 folks, more than half the room, going for duct taping himself to a billboard, which is absolutely correct. That is Steve-O, formerly of Jackass. He is promoting a new, I think, movie thing he's doing. And to promote that in California, he duct taped himself to a billboard. It is a heck of a thing if you've seen it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the board. Eddie Caffeine leading with a $1.07. Eddie, you do a heck of a job when you start the game. Slemp at 72. Eddie Caffeine's son at 40. Not really a rivalry just yet, but a lot of game to go. Drewsdy's getting in the game with 13. Peep Dish and Kristen both looking for a right answer to a question. Don't worry, so much more game. But yes, Steve-O, who at this point's got to be like 50, right? Like Steve-O's not a young guy. But I guess if you're known for doing things like taping yourself to a billboard, that'll get attention. It made me talk about it, right? We're jumping in. Here's question number 3, tonight's 15-question game. Who is that? Is that the artist behind Loud, the artist behind the album My Everything, the artist behind the album Teenage Dream, or the artist behind the album Take Me Home? Once again, that person that knows that. I know that. I know that. I know that. Is that the artist behind Loud, the artist behind My Everything, the artist behind Teenage Dream, or the artist behind Take Me Home? Your guesses. 2 guesses of Loud, 3 guesses of My Everything. Nobody going for Teenage Dream. You knew that was Katy Perry. Good work. And letter D, the artist behind Take Me Home. Take Me Home, letter D, was One Direction. Letter C, we covered. That was Katy Perry. Letter A is Rihanna. The correct answer is letter B. Letter B there for one Miss Ariana Grande. Or as I often refer to her as the world's sexiest Christmas elf. Because if you've ever seen Ariana Grande, is like 4'11". But half the room getting that one right. Let's take a look at the scores. Eddie Caffeine still leading with a $1.55. Eddie Caffeine's son making a contest out of this with 86. Slemp in at 72. Peep Dish in at 50. Drewsdy's at 13. And Kristen, not getting that one right. Kristen, I have faith in you. I've always had faith in your trivia ability. I'm sure you will get back in the game. And if you're out there on any of the various ways you can find us, and you're just seeing this right now, we are only 3 questions into the game. There are 12 questions left. If you want to jump in, go to any browser-based device. You'll see it over there, like down, like there, like right, like kind of where I'm pointing there. Go to crowd.live, enter the code BGIYS. BGIYS is what you're looking for. John stepping into the game, rocking the donut, as one does. Maybe not necessarily the best thing to do around one Miss Ariana Grande. Just a thought. Weird a hatred for donuts from a woman with the last name of a coffee beverage. You know, hey. A lot of the game left. Once again, top prize brought to us from the fine folks at Top Shelf Fun. It is Cube. Let me make myself big again so I can show you what we have going on here. It's Cube. It is the Taken action figure for tabletop gamers, and it is the horror one. So you're just going to get all the horrific things. It's Cube. A big thank you once again to our friends at Top Shelf Fun and Flip 4 is Super Saturday board game cereal for providing the prize. Kristen, you're welcome. I have faith in you, but we have a lot of game left. So let's see. Let's see how you do in question number 4. Here we go. What is this? Is that the best picture winner of 2009? The best picture winner of 2011? Best picture winner of 2013? Or the best picture winner of 2016? You may say, Bruce, that picture's a little blurry. I intentionally tried to pick a poster where you couldn't easily see the date on it. So that was with 100% intention. But the artist, a lot of people remember that one. It was in black and white. It was a thing. People were shocked. How did you answer? 2 guesses of 2009, 6 guesses of 2011. No one guessing for the newer ones. That is fantastic work on your part. The correct answer is it's the best picture winner from 2011. Good work as a room. I think guessing old was the way to go. 2009's not bad. I had to hit you with a little bit of the stanky trivia question where I put you 2 years apart. I just wanted to make sure if you're the kind of person that followed the year from the movie and not the year that the award was out, that it wouldn't be too close. So let's take a look and see what that does to the board. Eddie Caffeine still leading with 206. Eddie Caffeine's son at $125, trailing by 81 if my quick math is right. Slamk in at 102. Drew's D's at 75. Anakin, welcome to the game. You're not rocking the donut anymore. Solid 62. Peep Dish in with 50. Kristen, you got one. And Benny, welcome to the game. I don't know, unless you get to the top, I'm not doing that every time, but you have an exclamation point, and I like to pronounce exclamation point. Let's take a look over at Eduardo noting, I should have played more HQ. So interesting thing you should say that, Eduardo. I can actually make a game that we could all play like HQ where it would eliminate people. I just decided let's have fun. Let's keep playing it through. But yeah, more HQ might have helped you here. But the questions are going to get weird. Don't worry. We have a lot more weird questions ahead. Here's your next question, y'all. Brace yourselves. Watch your phones. Trump campaign advisor Jenna Ellis seems to think that this person sounds like what character? Princess Peach, Wilma Flintstone, Lois Griffin, or Marge Simpson? That person on the screen right there that you're seeing, a person that is, if this person wasn't important last week, this person sure is important now. Once again, Trump campaign advisor Jenna Ellis, in a tweet, noted that the person in that picture sounds like which of those characters? Let's take a look. 3 people guessing Wilma Flintstone, 1 guess for Lois Griffin, and 4 guesses for Marge Simpson. That is Kamala Harris, you were seeing, vice presidential candidate for the Democrat side. And Jenna Ellis tweeted that Kamala Harris sounds exactly like Marge Simpson. This was such a big deal that they took the time to animate Marge Simpson having an opinion about this. Marge Simpson noting that as a suburban housewife, she normally does not get involved in political matters, but that thinks that if that is an attempt to call someone a name, that's very nasty. And that was put up on the Simpsons account, I want to say today or yesterday. So it was a big enough thing that like Fox and the Simpsons had to answer it. Let's take a look at how the scores go. Eddie Caffeine with 206. Eddie Caffeine's son closing in 26 points away. Anakin OU jumping in the game at $134. Drew's D's just 3 points back. Pete Dish with $110. Slemp with 102. Kristen with 21. Benny with no point. Once you score points, then I'll pronounce your name with the exclamation point again. I'm not going to do it every time because I have to talk past this. But as things happen that are good for you, I'll do it. So once again, top prize, top single player, we'll be getting Cube from the fine folks at Top Shelf Fun. We're going to move on to the next question. Question number 6 of our 15-question game. What country is that? Is that China, Australia, Germany, or Greenland? What country? It's super simple. That's an outline of a country. Which one? I personally am so god-awful at geography that these questions are always so bad to me. You're probably going to get it. You're here. You probably all know this. I'm real bad at these. Let's take a look and see how you answered. 1 guess of China, 7 guesses of Australia. No one goes Germany. No one goes Greenland. That is smart. You are, as a room, in the 50-50 I would have had, but I would have gotten this one right. The correct answer is Australia. 7 of the 8 of you getting it right. 88% of the room. Let's see how it changes the scores, because remember, speed's the key. Let's take a look. Eddie Caffeine with 293. Eddie Caffeine's son, 265. Anakin in with 221. Drew's D's at 217. Peep Dish at 197. Kristen at 103. Slemp, right? Slemp in at 102. Benny! 91 points on that one with the quickness. Good work. Maybe you're just giving everybody a head start. Still a lot of game left. We're 6 questions in. 15-question game, 9 questions to go. Let's move on to our next question. Watch your phones. Here we go. What kind of pasta is that? What kind? Oh, every time there is a problem in this game. Every time I miss some little thing. What kind of pasta is that? But you're not going to hear me say that for at least 30 seconds. My goodness. So when I said When I set up the game, that's what it says on the screen as the template. And I guess I did not save the question. That is the best question ever. I'm hoping that the picture led you to something. Let's see how you answered. 1 guess of bucatini, 4 guesses of linguine, 3 guesses of vermicelli, no guesses of ravioli, which means I'm going to guess that the question would pull you through. I'm so sorry, folks. Every week, some small mistake. Eventually, this game will get perfect. And when it does, oh, you watch. Obviously, the question was going to be, what sort of pasta are you looking at? And if you take a look, here's the thing to note. If you look at the pasta, it's essentially spaghetti with a big hole in it, which is, in fact, bucatini. Bucatini, the correct answer on that one. One person getting that one right. Once again, was it a trash question that didn't exist? Yes. I'll openly admit that. Do I think you could have drawn the line and figured out what it was? Yes, I also think that. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Eddie Caffeine with 293. Eddie Caffeine Sun 265. Drew's D's at 237. Anakin 221, moving to 4th place. I'm going to guess Drew's D's was who got that one right. Pete Dish at 197. Kristen at 103. Slimkit 102. Bene at 91. Remember, for that one, just blame me. It wasn't that you didn't realize that was bucatini. It's that I didn't put a question in. Happens, man. Remember, tell each and every person to come back for Board Game the Game Show. Prizes every week. Prize this week. You have to do a little bit of mind reading and figure out what my questions are, but you can win Cube. We're going to move on, moving on to question number 8. Hopefully there's a question there. Let's find out together. This was from what soundtrack? Into the danger zone. Oh, let's see. Oh. Look at all this happening. Look at all these things that would have helped you just a second later. There is a reason that the clip went as long as it did and is going a little bit longer. This should be enough to tell you the rest of the answer. Let's take a look. What soundtrack was it from? It is, in fact, Kenny Loggins, whose only good songs are soundtrack songs. Was it Caddyshack, Top Gun, Footloose, or War Games? 7 guesses of Top Gun. 1 guess of Caddyshack, 1 guess of Footloose. Nobody guessing War Games because Kenny Loggins did not do a song for War Games. Most of you guessing Top Gun. Top Gun, 100% correct. Top Gun, the correct answer on that one. Let's go to the board. Eddie Caffeine leading with 362. Eddie Caffeine's Sun at 313. Anakin jumping up to the top 3 at 302. 3 points behind Drew's D's at 299. Peep Dish, Slimp, Kristen, Benny. No cube, Jordan. Jordan, welcome to the game. You have no cube. But you know what? Shot at another cube. Although you do have a cube. You're hanging out with a cube, but you have a shot at another cube. As we move on. Yeah, let me know how that one worked for you. I know I could hear sound. I'm hoping you could hear sound. Last week, we had our Richard Nixon question where we found out the problem was with people on their phone just didn't have their sound turned up. So I'm hoping that at least that worked this week. I recognize Kenny Loggins' beard, but I picked Footloose. I recognize Kenny Loggins' beard, yet I still picked Footloose by mistake. I was hoping, so I left you enough of the clip playing while you were answering that you were going to see the fighter planes, which I hoped was going to help you, but I didn't know, and you got to answer fast. John noting, bring it, Drew. There we go. Moving on to question number 9 of our 15-question game. In just a couple of questions, someone's going to win Horror Cube. Horror Cube. Here we go. Question number 9. This team plays what sport? Rugby, Aussie rules football, cricket, or soccer? That logo right there, that team, plays what sport? Do they play rugby? Do they play Aussie rules football? Do they play cricket? Or do they play soccer? You are seeing there the Sydney Sixers. Try to give you a little bit of help there with the title, with a little bit of the graphics on there. 3 guesses of rugby, 2 guesses of Aussie rules football, 3 guesses of cricket. No one guessing soccer. Good work, because it's not soccer. This is an Australian team that plays in the Big Bash League, which last I checked is still sponsored by KFC. That is, in fact, cricket. To help you there, I try to give you as much help as I could with this one. A 6 is like a home run in cricket. That is when you hit the cricket ball and it leaves the playing area in the air. It is a 6. That's why they're called the Sydney Sixers. I figured if you knew anything about it, you'd be able to pull that one out. If not, you had some guesses available there. Let's take a look at the board. Eddie Caffeine leading with 435. Drew's D's at 337. Moving into second, Eddie Caffeine's son slips to third. Anakin, 302 in fourth place. Peep Dish alone in the 200s. Slimp and Kristen in the 100s. Benny at 91. No Cube Jordan at 71. As a note here from John, I should have gotten that question right if I listened to the Just Barely Sports podcast. And that is true. Thank you for that segue, John. The Just Barely Sports podcast is back on the air. But Bruce, what is it? It's a podcast. Here's how I would describe it. Not about sports, but it's not about sports. It's about like logos and weird sports and mascots and video games and like things that are not sports. Thank you for that segue, John. I appreciate it. Once again, we have 6 questions left in the game, I believe. Moving on to question number 10. Here we go. Which founding father is that? Is that John Hancock, John Adams, Samuel Adams, or James Madison? Which founding father is that? I found for me when I see pictures of all these old Caucasian dudes that some of them I very easily know. Like if I show you George Washington, I can pick out George Washington. Anyone on money I can get. But this particular founding father, I don't think I would get this one right. If I were where you are, let's take a look. 4 guesses of John Hancock, 1 of John Adams, 1 of Samuel Adams, 3 of James Madison. So as a crowd, you've made me feel better because this felt like a difficult question when I put it out there. And that's why I did it. Some of them are very simple tonight. Some of them are harder. This one felt harder to me, which is why I double checked it. The correct answer on this one is, in fact, James Madison. That is James Madison. Samuel Adams, you might actually be able to identify because of the beer. He is on the top of a lot of the beers and the top of the beer logo, which when I saw him, that was the only thing I could tell you was I know I've seen his face before. And I think it's because of the Samuel Adams commercials. John Adams, John Hancock, good guesses, quite frankly. Very reasonable guesses. I probably would have gone John Hancock as well, if for nothing else, but then I could have been on the side of Hancock, and that would have made me giggle because I'm 11. Let's take a look at the board. Eddie Caffeine still leading 435. Drew's D's is closing in. Just a mere 41 points away in second place. Eddie Caffeine's son at 313. Anakin at 302. Peep Dish still owns the 200s. Slemk, Benny, and Kristen all in the 100s. No Cube Jordan at 71. Still 5 questions left. Still a third of the game remaining. Still time to get in and get your chance to win Cube from the fine folks at Top Shelf Fun. Remember, if you're out there, if you're a gamer, and you probably are, cubes can be anything, and you can have a cube. I'll take a quick second to show you my cube. There it is. Look how amazing that is. It's hefty, it's sturdy, it's beautiful, and it comes with accessories. I have Pirate Cube. There is Pirate Cube with a little parrot. You get like axes and toxic waste barrels and books and stuff because you will be getting the Horror Cube. We're going to move on to question number 11. Here we go. What hero is that? Is that the Bolt, Electrolass, Captain Marvel, or Miss Marvel? Once again, you're looking at a hero there. Is that the Bolt, Electrolass, Captain Marvel, or Miss Marvel? All you have to do is tell me who that is. Once again, I think for some this will be easy. For the rest of you, I don't know. This feels like an easy one to me, but this is my type of geek. So anytime it falls within your type of geek, it feels like an easy question. Let's take a look. A third of the room going for the Bolt. A third of the room going for Electrolass. No one guessing Captain Marvel. I'm guessing because you know that Captain Marvel doesn't look like that. And a third of the room going for Miss Marvel. That is Kamala Khan, who is known as Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, the correct answer on that one. Very cool story about her just figuring out who she is. She's a big fan of other comic book heroes. So when she meets them in the Marvel Universe, she fangirls all over them, like Wolverine and stuff. Super cool story. Coming of age tale of her learning to deal with her powers and also learning to deal with just becoming a person. Cool story. Check it out if you get a chance. That is Miss Marvel. One Kamala Khan there. If you are a board gamer, and the statistical likelihood is that you are, if you've gotten the new Marvel Living card game, once you get past the base box, Kamala Khan was in the very next sets of cards to come out. So just showing a little bit of popularity there in the Marvel universe and a desire for people to use the IP. Let's take a look at the board. Eddie Caffeine leading with 435. Drew's D's at 394. Anakin at 387, starting to close the gap. Peep Dish at 338. Eddie Caffeine's son at 313. Been a heck of a run there. Slemk, Benny and Kristen in the 100s. Oh, and No Cube Jordan, welcome to the 100s. Clearly the comic book question was the one you needed. You're welcome. Still 4 questions left in the game. Still time to get in 100 points a question. If you could ace these and Eddie can start missing things, you have a chance to win yourself Cube. Here we go. Question number 12. That's a reference to which movie? Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, or The Mighty Ducks? You were looking there at a picture that was made for a website for a bunch of T-shirts, and they all took movies and turned them into cereals that look like the General Mills cereals. But that particular one you're looking at, is it a reference to Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, or The Mighty Ducks? No guesses of Nightmare on Elm Street. There actually was one they did that was like a Kruger Flakes, I think called like Krugerrands, and it's him on the front. It looks like the General Mills box. 63% of the room goes with Friday the 13th. 3 guesses of Halloween, and no guesses of The Mighty Ducks, but it made me smile. Let's take a look. You are absolutely correct. It is Friday the 13th. That, of course, is a stylized version of one Mr. Jason Voorhees, except he has a big giant spoon, and he's eating bloody crosses. It looks like bloody windows if you get really, really close to the picture. I don't know how well you can see it, but over here on the big computer, because I have 2 screens, on the big one where I can see it really well, they're actually like little bloody windows, little bloody Checkses. Oh, so yeah, super cute. But if you ever check it out, I believe it was done on something like HalloweenShirts.com. But I thought it was a super cool way to look at those. But if you look up sort of cereal monsters, you'll find a lot of these cool pictures, including ones for Alien, and there is one for Halloween, the Freddy Krueger one. There's a bunch of cool movies they did it with. Let's take a look at the board. Anakin's leading the pack now at 474. Drew's at 471. Eddie Caffeine has fallen to 3rd. I wouldn't have guessed it, Eddie. Not a horror movie fan, I suppose. Or slow on the button, but looking at the points, not a horror movie fan. Peep Dish at 399. Eddie Caffeine's son at 313 still. Kristen at 231. No Cube Jordan at 224 jumping up. Slemp and Benny still left in the hundreds, but there's still time to play. There's still time on the clock. You are going to need a lot of 3-pointers at this point to get back in the game, but you're not out yet. There's still time left. As we move into question number 13, here we go. Who is that? Is that a singer, an actress, a reality TV star, or an athlete? You're looking at a picture. Is that a singer, an actress, a reality TV star, or an athlete? I've given you a picture. Just tell me what genre of famous that person is. That's all you need to do. Is that a singer, an actress, a reality star, or an athlete? Let's take a look at your answers. 1 guess of a singer, no guesses for an actress, 6 guesses for a reality TV star, and 2 guesses for an athlete. Okay, folks, let's have a second. Do all of you remember a musical artist by the name of Adele? Yeah, you remember Adele, Fire the Rain Adele. This is a recent picture from about 2 weeks ago of Adele. 1 person getting that one right. Adele recently, she has not taken a lot of pictures since her transformation, I think is what we can call it, because she doesn't feel like she should have to answer questions about it, which is fair. But Beyonce recently put out her newest album, and the rest of the outfit you could see on the bottom is an homage to one of the outfits that Beyonce was wearing in her video. And this was Adele showing her support. But that right there is the artist formerly known, and I guess currently still known, as Adele. 1 person getting that one right. Anakin at 474. Drew's 3 points away, putting the pressure on. Eddie Caffeine at 435. Pete Dish, Kristen, Eddie Caffeine's son in the 300s. No Cube Jordan owns the 200s. Slemp and Benny in the 100s. But yes, that is Adele now. Wow. I had to double and triple check it to make sure that that was right. Because I didn't realize, I saw it. They were like, hey, Adele took a picture. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I do a game with pictures. And then I was like, whoa, that's Adele. So there you go. We learn something every game. That's what I try to do. I try to come out here and teach the children a little bit. That, guys, gals, non-binary pals, that's Adele. We're going to move on to question number 14. 2 questions left in the game. We've had a couple of lead changes. Let's see if we can get another one. Here we go. According to Autobahn, what bird is that? Is that an oriole, a hummingbird, a goldfinch, or a robin? That bird. Birds are real hot right now in the board game space. People love the burbs. What bird is that? Is that an oriole, a hummingbird, a goldfinch, or a robin? I don't know. I just felt like, hey, let's get a bird picture in here. There's been no science this game. Let's see what everybody thinks. 2 guesses on the Oriole, none on a hummingbird. Good. Hummingbirds have the weird beak. 1 on a goldfinch, and 6 answers on a robin. The correct answer is, in fact, a robin. Goldfinch is largely yellow, I learned today in my Audubon search. And an Oriole kind of looks like that, but is much darker and has a different colored beak. So the Oriole was the trick answer in there. So if you went for that, don't feel bad. If all you know of the Orioles is like the picture on the front of the jerseys and the hats for the Baltimore Orioles, you very well might have guessed that. But that is, in fact, a robin. Let's take a look at the board. Drew's D's leading with 550. Anakin back at 2 points. This is a close game heading into the final question. Pete Dish at 477, Eddie Caffeine 435, Kristen 403. The 300s are owned by Eddie Caffeine's son, Benny Slemk, and No Cube Jordan in the 200s. Final question of the game. This looks like a 2-horse race to me, but I will tell you this, to Pete Dish at least, if both Drew's D's and Anakin missed the last one and you hit it for the points, you can leap up into this game. A note, John would like you to know, how dare Drew? How dare? Here we go. Final question of the game. This is the one that's going to determine all of it. I hope I didn't make a mistake. Here we go. This is the original and a quarantine remake of a work by what artist? Banksy, Shepard Fairey, Keith Haring, or Roy Lichtenstein? Once again, that is the original and a quarantine remake of a work by what artist? Banksy, Shepard Fairey, Keith Haring, or Roy Lichtenstein? I'd like to just take a second and look at how awesome that remake is. That's what made me want to do this, was that remake is just awesome. Your guesses. 1 guess of Banksy, 1 guess of Shepard Fairey, 5 guesses for Keith Haring, 2 guesses for Roy Lichtenstein. So let's run through and help you out. We'll start with Roy Lichtenstein. If you've ever seen any of the paintings that sort of look like a newspaper comic, but blown up to where like you can see the dots in the printing process, that's Roy Lichtenstein. Shepard Fairey's work was Obey, was one of the things he was most known for, but the Obama Hope poster in red, white, and blue, or in red and blue mostly, is what you're going to know him for. And Banksy just does like a bunch of weird stuff and is known for things like the little girl with the red balloon, and you see like a lot of like creatures throwing what looks like a Molotov cocktail, but it ends up being like something happy and pleasant. That is all of his stuff. So let's take a look. Let's see the correct answer. Of course, the one I didn't talk about, Keith Haring. That is a perfect example of his work. And look at the end of the game. Your winner with 628 points is Anakin OU. Good work pulling it out at the end. Pete Dish with 564. Drew's D's at 557. Eddie Caffeine at 517. The 400's owned by Kristen. The 300 Slemk and Eddie Caffeine's son, Benny. And No Cube Jordan closing up the pack. Anakin OU, contact me on Twitter at BG The Game Show. Give me your address and we'll get Cube out to you. Thank you so much for playing. Remember, folks, tell absolutely every person you know about it. We're on the YouTube channel. Take a look at all the games that we're working on. We have a couple of them that are currently in testing, game testing and production testing. Take a look at those. They're a lot of fun. We'd love to hear what you think about those. We'll be back next Thursday with the interview. It is an interview that you can win prizes while watching. We're going to have Our Family Plays Games on there, so that's super awesome. And we'll be back next week with this game right here at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week, folks. Let's take a note here. It was crazy fun. Thank you so much for coming out and being a part of it, each and every one of you. I do sincerely appreciate it. Please tell just everybody. And if you love what I'm doing, once again, like, subscribe, share, or you can tip at coffee.com/Bruce Vogue. Jennifer was super close. That's how you were right there. You were right in the hunt. John's raising the roof, and the trash talk in the comment section did pay off. Eddie Caffeine, thank you so much for coming out. Everybody else, thanks for being a part of this. Remember, once again, back on Thursday at 9 p.m., back here at 8 p.m. next week. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. And between now and the next time I see you play something, have a great week, folks. Bye.